Good afternoon everyone, this is Ivan, and this afternoon I want to show you guys this really quick tutorial using the products found in June's Playbox by Sephora. If you don't know about this, Sephora has a subscription box system in which every month you get 5 makeup samples, I think it is 5, that range anywhere from like makeup, skincare, hair care and stuff like that, as well as a sample fragrance. June's box was particularly useful. I did not like the contents of the May box, and I ended up giving the whole thing to my mom because they were mostly products that were geared more for like women to use. But this month's box, this last month's box, actually it's a bag because this is the way that they send you the products. It's like this little bag that contains the samples, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you basically what are the 4 products that I end up using. There were actually 5, like I said, but one of them was a fragrance sample, and of course, you know, it was a fragrance for a female, so I ended up giving that to my mom, as well as a hair care. It was a Bumble and Bumble hair cream, I think. But I did keep 4 products that I'm going to be using for this tutorial, starting out with the Bare Skin, what's it called? Bare Minerals Bare Skin Sheer Sun Serum Bronzer. And what this is, it's like a lightweight bronzer. You actually have to shake the little vial to get the product mixed, but it's going to be a bronzer that you apply on your face wherever you want to create definition and contouring. So this is product number 1. The second product is going to be a sunscreen for the face, and it is the Tarte Guard Broad Spectrum Sunscreen Lotion in SPF 30. So this is especially useful for right now for summer, when you're going out to the sun and stuff, just to go ahead and keep your face and your skin protected. So I'm going to be using this. The third product is going to be a primer, and it's by Becca, and it's the Backlight Priming Filter. So I've actually used this filter already. It does give you a really good base for your highlighter underneath your eyes or anywhere else that you want to go ahead and highlight. And the fourth product is going to be the They're Real Mascara by Benefit. I've actually used this, believe it or not. I really didn't use mascara before, but this one just gives you really good definition on your eyelashes and everything like that. So those are going to be the 4 products that I'm going to be showing you guys. I'm going to go ahead and complement my routine that I currently follow with these 4 products. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and get started right away with the Tarte Guard SPF lotion for the face. This is the one that I haven't used yet, so I'm going to go ahead and probably just squeeze out a little bit of an amount onto my hand and then just apply it as you would with a regular moisturizer. You want to make sure to cover most of the areas in your face entirely with a slight coating of the product. It actually has a nice smell. I thought that it was going to smell like actual sunscreen. So once you go ahead and apply this, I actually have a primer here. I don't really think that I need to use a primer, but normally after this, because it actually gives you like a nice finish for your foundation, normally I would use the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer, but I feel that this would act as a good primer, so I'm going to go ahead and probably just stick to using this and move on straight to foundation. The foundation that I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation in the tone Ivory. It gives you very good coverage and a very, very good matte finish. So I'm going to be using this and applying it with an Eco Tools stippling brush. So yeah. That's the foundation application, and we'll go ahead and move on to concealer. The concealer that I've been using for, you know, since forever has been the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer, and this is in the shade Light. So I usually just go ahead and run it underneath my eyes to conceal my dark circles. For this one, since I want to go ahead and be a little bit more precise, I'm going to go ahead and use a handheld mirror so I can go ahead and apply it a little more precisely than I would in front of the camera. Okay, so moving along, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight, especially like underneath my eyes here for the cheekbones and on the top of my eyebrows. My products for right now is gonna be the Magic Lumi highlighter from L'Oreal, and this is in the shade Light as well. All of the products, especially for highlighting, they should be at least 1 or 2 tones lighter than your actual skin. And all you have to do, or what I usually do with this product, is you go ahead and click until you actually see a little bit of highlighter on the applicator. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and just like I did with the foundation, I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a little bit of an amount onto my hand, and actually try and mix it a little bit with the highlighter that comes out from the L'Oreal highlighter, and apply it right underneath my eyes. For the contouring, I'm going to be using the Bearskin Sheer Sun bronzer. In this one, I've tried it with just a couple of drops, just like that. And this is enough for what I use on my cheekbone.
I need to speak up. I need to speak up.
So that's where I usually apply the product. I know that it's kind of not very noticeable right now, but what I like to follow it up with is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer in the shade Medium Deep, right there. And I actually use more the powder to contour than anything else, because I feel that it gives you a better control over the product. I'm really not used to using any liquid or foundation type bronzers to contour with, so I'm going to be going ahead and applying it with a contour brush, and I'm going to be doing it in a diagonal motion, like going from your cheekbone all the way to like your temple, and that actually gives you a nice contoured, chiseled look on the side of your face. There you can actually see a little bit more of the definition with the bronzer now that it's been applied. And what I've actually started doing now in the summer is add a little bit more of contouring all over the perimeter of my face. So I go ahead and take this wider powder brush, or fluffier powder brush, and I just tap it into the bronzer, tap off the excess, and just go around the perimeter of my eye, like around the perimeter of my face, such as my forehead and everything else, just so I can pretty much bring in everything and contour my entire face. And then for my nose, I actually take this smaller, fluffier brush. This is actually the contour brush from this kit from Real Techniques, but I actually use this for my nose. So I go ahead and take, again, using the matte deep, the matte bronzer from Too Faced. I go ahead and tap it in and tap off the excess. And a little trick that I learned watching video tutorials on YouTube is to go ahead and hold your brush like this, squeezing the bristles a little bit more. That gives you a little bit more definition and a cleaner, linear application of the bronzer. Another thing that you can go ahead and use the bronzer for is to give a little bit more definition to your eyes. What I mean with this is like highlighting the shadow that pretty much happens naturally here at the outer corner of the eye. So once you go ahead and contour everything, then you can go ahead and take a bigger brush. This one's from e.l.f. and this is like what's it called? A powder brush. I was holding it upside down. And you can just go ahead and run it all over your face, and just to blend everything and make it look seamless, and for you to not be able to tell where the bronzer or everything else ends and where the other thing starts. Another trick that I learned watching other people on YouTube is you don't need to set everything with powder. Like, you know, you don't need to set your entire face with powder. If you have normal skin, then you can pretty much just omit this step, especially if you're adding highlight. If you want to go ahead and keep that dewy finish, you can go ahead and skip the powdering of the face. However, if you do have normal to oily skin, I don't have particularly oily skin, but I do like to set it a little bit with my, especially here on the T-zone, and that's where you can go ahead and use the powder. And right now, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Clean Normal Skin Pressed Powder in the shade Classic Beige. The next step is going to be the eyelashes. I'm going to be using, like I said, where is it? Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and be using the They're Real mascara sample from the June Play Box. And I'm going to be just applying like very lightly. Like I said, I really don't go for like a dramatic eye or an eyelash effect. I just use it for definition and stuff like that. So, yeah. One of the things that I hate about mascara samples is how tiny the ones are. Actually, you have to really go like really close with a mirror. At least I do, because I have poor eyesight to begin with. But you really don't have that much control as if you were to have it with a regular one. So that's pretty much the application of the They're Real mascara. Like I said, I really don't go for these products for like length or anything like that. I just go ahead and use them for definition and stuff like that. So we're pretty much wrapping up this look. I'm gonna go ahead and use a highlighter just so I can go ahead and highlight these parts of my face a little bit more. I'm gonna be using two products. The first one is gonna be the Sonia Kashuk highlighting stick in the shade Sparkling Sands, as well as this Vivid Baked highlighter by Revolution Cosmetics in the shade Radiant Light. A trick that I learned while attending the Sephora VIB Rouge event with Natalie, if you guys check that out, is how to properly apply a good highlight with a dewy finish. So what they recommended, or what the girl did to me, was she applied it using a setting spray. So you want to go ahead and get a little bit of the highlighter on your brush. This has a lot of fallout, so you want to be careful when applying it and getting it on your brush. And she sprayed it with a setting spray. I'm going to be using the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. And you go ahead and spray your brush twice. And then you go ahead and highlight the high points of your face. You can also go ahead and do it on your brow bone. But she just basically lightly tapped it like this. And that gives you like a dewy highlight. I don't know if it has to do with the moisture that the setting spray provides, but it just gives you a really nice application, and it gives you that sort of dewy look if that is something that you are interested in achieving. So that is the highlighting part completed. As you can see, it gives you a really nice dewy look. I guess it's because the setting spray immediately locks it in onto your skin before even spraying your whole face with it. And you can pretty much just use a regular whatever brush. You know, I use this one that's kind of fluffy and small, and this is what I actually use to highlight. If you want a better highlight, you can go ahead and go in directly with your highlighter with a fan brush like this one, and just run it on your highlighter, get an amount of highlighter onto it, and then tap off the excess, and then just run it on your cheekbones for a more comprehensive highlighting job. I'm gonna go ahead and open my blinds just to get a little bit more of light in here, just so you guys can see a little bit more of the highlight that I applied. But yeah, like I said, I really don't go in for any dramatic application of makeup. This is normally what I do on a regular basis. I also go ahead and define my eyebrows a little bit using the NYX tinted brow mascara in brown. I think this is brunette actually, but right now I don't want to do it because I want this to be more centered on the products from the Playbox. I usually just go ahead and run an eyebrow brush or something across my eyebrows just to give them, a more polished appearance. But yeah, once I finish with all the application of the products, I just go ahead and mist my face with the setting spray again by NYX, and that should pretty much be it. That was pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me use these 4 products. I can't find the mascara, like that's the only thing that gets lost in here. Here it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me use these 4 products from the June Playbox. If you are interested in finding out how I use products in future boxes, drop me a comment on the comment box down below. I do have a subscription to the Playbox by Sephora, but I also started a subscription with Birchbox since I heard better things about the Birchbox service. And I also heard that they give you a wider range of products. Sephora just barely got started with this not so long ago, but they're still in like the trial phase, I guess. This is gonna be the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.